Welcome back, guys, to a brand new video. And today I have a brand new Pokemon deck for you. As you know, my channel is now all Pokemon videos. Every single video is Pokemon. So yeah, sorry if you don't like it. If you don't like it, go away then. Okay? Just go away. Or just subscribe to me because you're cool. Anyway, we have a fairy deck for you today, and it's pretty darn cool. And I will keep updating it. And we have a special guest today. What is your name?
Ethan.
Yeah, his name's Ethan. He's one of my longtime friends, and we've been doing Pokemon together for a while. So not only does he have a deck that we're probably going to review later, we have my deck here. And so, first of all, we're running the 2 Xerneas EX. No fairy deck would be complete without at least one of these. And he is our main attacker, because we're going to use X-Blast to do the good amount of damage, and then finish off with Breakthrough after that. And that will just pretty much KO everything, unless you have a Mega, and then you're going to gotta power up both of them and, switch them out. It'll do pretty good too. So we run those, and then we run 3 Xerneas. The 3 Xerneas are important because we can use Geomancy to power up our benched Pokemon, which is why we want to run Xerneas. That's why you run Xerneas.
Exactly.
That's the only reason you pretty much run Xerneas. Why do 100 damage and discard an energy attached to him? 3 energy? Not worth it. So, we do have an interesting backup Pokemon here. Half my face is being cut off, but whatever. And that is Florage's Break. She's going to be our healer because she can heal damage with her ability. Plus, then, when we pair it with the Florigist with Calming Aroma, our attacks are less. And, I guess we can use Wonder Shrine, but that's not what we're probably going to use her for. So that's our backup attacker. Or, not our backup attacker. Our healer. We'll call it our healer. So, sort of in replacement for potions, even though we do run potion.
Sure. This
This deck needs healing. Then, of course, we do run 2 Floette to do that. And why would you run Floette, Florigist, and Florigist Break without the Flabébé? So we do run 3 Flabébé for our backup causes. And then another deck that won't be completed without this card, Aromatisse. Her fairy transfer ability to move fairy energy from one of your Pokemon to another is just incredible. One of your Xerneas EX is about to be KO'd. Move all the energy back to your other Xerneas EX and go attack. It works Aromatisse is such a powerful Pokemon in this deck. And then, of course, why run 2 Aromatisse without the 2 Spritzies? So we do run 2 Spritzies. Either one's fine. Then,
really
the one card, we do have to run Shaymin EX. I know it's World Championship, but Shaymin EX is such a expensive card that even I don't have the regular version. I gotta get it soon, but for now, when you see Shaymins in my deck, they will sadly be World Championship because I don't really have anything else at the moment. But her setup ability should be pretty familiar to you. And Ethan will cover our trainers here. I'm trying to pull all of them out here. Who are we starting with?
So we got Professor Oak and Imposter Professor Oak.
Yeah, so both these cards, we don't want to discard cards from our hand. That's our biggest weakness, discarding cards from our hand. But it's really hard to not have a discard your hand, then draw 7 cards in your deck. So we do have to run one. And Imposter Professor Oak, your opponent shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck, then draw 7 cards. If you know your opponent just drew something good, then it's good to do that.
Oh, look at, what is this? Oh, it's a full art Sharon.
So Sharon is, it's good to throw this in there because it is another supporter that can draw you cards, which we need to draw cards in this deck. We'll be so powerful at the end that we don't have to worry about not having our deck. And even if our opponent runs a Whaler deck, we don't care. We switch out the 2 Xerneases, and we can deal so much damage. But we do need the one Sharon that we are just going to run to draw cards, sort of a one-timer.
And we got 3 Lysander here.
Yep. Lysander is great. I do have the World Championship ones because my other Lysanders I don't know where they are. I'll find them eventually. But we run three. Usually, you'll run 1 Lysander, sometimes 2 if you really need them in your deck. Well, we run 3, and I've play tested this a lot with 3, and it has worked perfectly. Because the 3 Lysanders, we need to be able to control our opponent's active Pokemon. Because if it's not who we want it to be, then we'll lose. So it's good to run the 3 Lysanders so we can always have control.
Now we got Skyla over here.
Yeah,
you know what
Skyla's
people
great.
at our school said about her? They said she's hot. Her hands are really big.
Right, I never noticed that. She does have really exceptionally big hands. Check that out right there. Those are exceptionally big heads. Or hands. But being able to search for a trainer card is a great thing to have a one of in your deck, which is really nice.
We got 4 Pokeballs over here too.
Now, the reason we don't do Ultra Balls and stuff is because, of course, I told you discarding cards is our weakness. So we are taking the risk of the coin flip to get the cards, which is just good to have, and we'll probably naturally stumble across our most important Pokemon, but sometimes it's good to just, I usually actually will start with 2 Pokeballs in my hand, and I'll just lay them both down and say, well, I could get 2 Pokemon right here, which is helpful.
Yep. We got 3 energy retrievals here.
Energy retrieval is great because we can put discarded energy back into our hand, because if our opponent runs energy removal or Team Flare Gun or something to put the energy in the discard pile, Crushing Hammer, it's not good for us. So we can lay down the energy removal and get some back.
Now here we've got 3 potions.
3 potions, because even though we run Florges Break, we run 1 of her because of the amount of space in our deck that we'll have. So it is good to just have these item cards to lay down. And even if your opponent has Vileplume, you can still do the Florges Break. That's why we run her, because Vileplume will pretty much destroy this deck, considering we run mostly item cards.
We got 2 good Evo Sodas here.
The Evo Sodas are great because we can evolve our Floette, we can evolve our Spritzee, we can evolve our Flabébé, our Florges, the Florges Break. We can evolve pretty much most of the things in our deck. So that's why we are going to run 2 Evo Sodas.
We got an energy removal over here.
We only run 1. You can run Team Flare Gun. I run energy removal because it's an item card. But energy removal helps you a lot because you can remove 1 energy card. So it can be special energy too, which is great. It's good to just have in your deck for the times you need it most.
We got Town Map too.
The Town Map, the only reason we run Town Map is because we need to know what's in our prize cards. We need to take the right prize card at the right time. Because if both our Xerneas CXs are in our prize cards, rare occasion, trust me, it doesn't happen much, then we need to be able to pick up the Xerneas right away. So having Town Map to put all of them face up really helps us out.
And energy search over here.
We only run 1 energy search because we are just going to get our energy naturally, but it is good to be able to sometimes, play one down and search for our energy in case.
We got an Acro Bike over here.
The Acro Bike is good because even though we are going to discard a card, we can grab some very important things. So it'll be important to use the Acro Bike.
We got some Sleep.
Sleep is good because even though we aren't running our Sleepy Darkrai or anything like that with Dark Pulse and that stuff, it is good to have Sleep because you can force them to sleep even if they roll back up. Or even if they roll back up, that's still bad, but it's not what you want. You want to be able to maybe just hold off 1 turn, and it's sometimes a great, 1-turn staller.
Professor's Letter.
So we do run the Professor's Letter as well as the energy search, just because searching for 2 basic energy cards can be a risk, especially if your opponent plays something like Imposter Professor Oak, because you have to shuffle them back into your deck. So it's good to just have 1. Lots of times late game if you know your opponent doesn't have anything to do against it.
And we got a computer search over here.
Our A-Spec computer search is amazing because we can search for any card, even though we do have to discard 2 cards. Again, I know discarding is our weakness, but we could have a couple of discard cards. But the computer search, we can always just dump 2 energies, then play an energy retrieval, get them back up, and we just got to search for a card. So that'll be helpful.
Of course, we're going to need a stadium, and we've got 4 Fairy Garden.
Now, the reason we run 4 Fairy Garden is because when I had 1 Fairy Garden, 2 Fairy Gardens, or 3 Fairy Gardens, we couldn't retreat enough. So I just decided, well, we're going to throw the other one in there. We're going to have 4 Fairy Gardens. And so that's why we run 4 Fairy Gardens. It may seem like a lot, but you'd be surprised. I've play tested this deck against tens of other decks. And the stadium cards, they'll just knock out our Fairy Garden right after we play it. So that's important. And then for our energy, we do run 1 double colorless energy because we do have a couple of Pokemon that like this. Most of them don't, but sometimes it's good to just have that in there. So I did include 1. And then I believe this is... Finally, guys, because I'm running out of storage space, we do run 12 Fairy Energies just because it's important to have the Fairy Energies in a Fairy deck.
Exactly.
Alright, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, we'll see y'all later. Bye.
See you later.